Hello and welcome to the Low Carb Conversations podcast. Leah and I are here today for our co-host episode. Hi, Leah. How are you?
Hi, Holly. I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I feel like we haven't talked in a long time. We're both on vacation and stuff, so we haven't really caught up.
No, we haven't. And I'm just looking at you, and you are so tanned and looking all summery and healthy. And here I am in my freezing cold with my sweater on, and just the opposites. It always amazes me.
Yeah, I think it was a brisk 85 or something today here in Oklahoma.
Yes, well, I don't know Fahrenheit, but in degrees here in Brisbane, which never gets this cold, it's 10 degrees. So it's pretty cold for us. This is our coldest.
All right, well, that sounds cold. Whether that's Celsius or Fahrenheit, that's cold.
Yeah.
Too cold.
Too cold.
Well, as always on our co-host episode, we recap the last couple of guests that we have had. And so let's bring it back to the beginning of the month, I guess. And we had Danielle Hamilton, a fellow NTA grad. What were your thoughts about Danielle? What were your big takeaways there, Leah?
I love Danielle. She's just so vibrant and has so much personality and really positive. And yeah, she just talked just about stuff I really love, which is bile and digestion and fat digestion and all of that stuff that we love being nutritional therapy practitioners. So yeah, she really broke it down in easy to understand way of why you're not digesting your fats properly, and great tips to be able to help that. She also talked about good fats and versus unhealthy fats and which are the better choices. And so, yeah, if you want to take a deeper dive into fat and fat digestion, that is the episode I definitely recommend.
Yes, and you're right. She does have really great energy. She's so spunky. If you could be spunky talking about fats and bile
That's
and
right.
digestion is definitely her. But she has a lot of good takeaways, especially like you said, talking about good fats versus bad fats. And she has some good tips for cleaning up the diet when it comes to fats and getting rid of those toxic rancid fats that some people call cooking oils, but they really should be never use oils.
Yeah, that's right. And while we're talking about the Nutritional Therapy Association, I'm going to just jump in and give a plug here because September class is open and the registration window closes on September 3rd and the course starts on September 13th. So if you want Danielle's job or my job or Holly's job, this is the course to take. And where we learned so much about fat digestion and bile and all those lovely topics and how to make them look cute or spunky, as you said, then that's the course to take. And if anyone's listening and they want to know a little bit more information about the course, Holly and I are always happy to share our stories, share anything that you want to know about it. Just send us an email or DM us on Instagram. We've got our Low Carb Conversations Instagram page, so just DM us there. Happy to answer any questions. And if you want the link, just go to the show notes and we've got a little badge on the corner there and it says want our job, and you click on that one and that'll take you through to the right place. So yeah, make sure you sign up. If you've been thinking about it, the time is now.
Yeah, and the NTA is so great because not only can you learn so much about yourself if you're going through some health stuff, learning to decode that or to be able to help your family, but if you do want to consider nutrition as a career, they also have a course in that teaching you how to actually launch your business and stuff. So you really are supported in that way, and you're part of a wonderful community.
That's right.
Okay, our next guest was Ben Azadi from Keto Camp, and this was such a great conversation. He was on, he has a new book out called Keto Flex. He is an accomplished author. He has a ton of other books, but this was his newest book, and it's all about getting healthy. It's not so much just about diet or weight loss. It's really holistic, and it talks about bringing the body into balance and how once you are able to do that, weight loss just kind of happens naturally as a byproduct. What were your thoughts on our chat with Ben, Leah?
Yeah, I really love that there's a whole new wave of keto people that are coming through that are looking at things more holistically now. So Ben's definitely one of those, and he's got such a great philosophy, and he talks about inflammation being the underlying cause for so many things and stress and things like that. So I really like that approach. And one of the interesting things was we talked a lot about fasting, and we went through so many different myths, and some of the myths we've heard before, and he gives his fresh perspective on those. And then there was this one myth that I was just kind of like, oh wow, and it was like about dry fasting. And obviously I've heard about dry fasting before, which is where you don't even drink water for that entire time, but I was under the impression it wouldn't be a good thing for you because you'll become dehydrated. But Ben kind of had a different perspective on that. And yeah, it really kind of made sense. So if you want to know what his perspective was, then you need to go and listen to that episode.
Yeah, and definitely pick up his book too. I have it, and it's really well written. And then lastly, I just spoke to Dr. Don Klum last week, and I did that solo. Um, but if you do not know Dr. Klum, don't feel bad, because I think he's the internet's best kept secret. But he really is like a well-known name and respected doctor within the intermittent fasting and metabolic health community. So we have a really great conversation. If you're struggling with weight loss, type 2 diabetes, getting results from fasting, or just trying to make sense of how blood sugar imbalances are the pathway to disease and dysfunction, then you'll definitely want to listen to this episode. And Don does have a Facebook page, but aside from that, you probably won't find him online. So you could definitely check out that episode and then go find him on Facebook for some really great info.
Sounds good. I'm going to have a little cacao bliss break now, Holly.
Okay, so I know it's summertime over here, but I've been having kind of a sweet tooth lately. And I don't know if it's because my kids are eating a lot of popsicles and ice cream, but I've just been having a sweet tooth. So it's too hot to have hot cocoa, but I just wanted the chocolate. So they have a recipe in the Cacao Bliss book. It is for a chocolate mug cake, and it's really simple. It's just a couple scoops of the Cacao Bliss, a little bit of almond flour, 1 egg, a little bit of vanilla and cinnamon, and you just mix it all together and like do it in the microwave. And it's so good, especially like if you have some healthy ice cream you want to put on top, maybe a little bit of homemade whipped cream. It's so delicious, and
Sounds
it's
good.
guilt-free.
Sounds
Guilt-free.
absolutely delicious. I think I need to make
Yes.
that one. I've got my cacao bliss right here with me. So, and I've got that recipe. So I think I need to make that one maybe for the kids when they come home from school or something like that.
Well, I like it because I can have it in a mug and the kids don't know I'm having something
Yeah.
sweet. Because they see me with the mug, they automatically think I'm having coffee or something that they don't have anything to do with. They have no idea that I have chocolate ooey gooey goodness in my mug.
Sounds good. And it's got so many great ingredients in the cacao bliss. Should definitely check it out. We have a link on our page with a little discount code there. So go to our show notes and just click on the cacao bliss link, and that'll give you all the details.
All right. Okay, and I just have one more announcement before we dive into our show. Sorry, I'm being attacked by a cat. I need to get some doors on my office, seriously. Okay, if you have not listened to the episode with Dr. Klum yet, then you may have not heard. I am launching my signature holistic health program. It's a coaching program. It's officially launching Monday, September 6th, but I am doing a pre-sale offer this week from July 27th to 30th only. So this is your chance to get in on a discount there. It is a 10-week semi-personalized group program with the option to upgrade to full one-on-one coaching support. And this program has been a year of my blood, sweat, and tears in the making, like totally my passion project baby. So I'm really excited to share it and get it out there. And I don't have a sales page or anything up for it yet, but I will. It's on my list. But this program is perfect for you if you want to eat healthier, if you want to shop smarter, meal plan better, but just don't know where to start. I cover all the basics there. So whether you're a pro and just need to get back on track, or if you're really truly just starting, this part will help you have a successful start. I go over all the different eating styles. So if you're curious about keto or paleo or intermittent fasting, carnivore, even vegan, vegetarian, I'll break it all down so you can decide what's best for your body. And I'll teach you how you can actually do that. So you don't ever have to wonder again, what should I be eating? If you're looking to better understand how different food choices affect your body and the planet, we'll be going over ways to help you make informed decisions, balancing hormones, correcting nutritional imbalances through proper nutrition, eliminating toxins. I have a huge section just on going like the mindset piece. So where you want to discover and recognize and address those subconscious beliefs that maybe are barriers to your success, or maybe that have held you back in the past. We'll go over those things that may be influencing you and keeping you in those cycles of start, stop when it comes to diet and exercise, and gain, lose when it comes to weight. So anyways, that's enough there. But if you're interested, go ahead and send me a message. Either on the podcast Instagram or on my personal Instagram page, or you can email me at holly@rabbitholistic.com, and that's holistic with a K. And that's it. I really hope that you guys love it, because I've put a lot of work into it.
It sounds amazing. And even if there's listeners who are listening, they go, oh, I'm pretty down with some of that. They might have a family member or someone that they're wanting to gift something like that to. Wouldn't that just be like the best kind of like birthday present, or, you know, just a present in general, just to give to somebody, this gift of learning to eat better and proper nutrition and all of these things. So even if you know someone's struggling, that's like a fantastic idea for them as well. And yeah, such a great program. And I'm sure with you doing it, Holly, it's just so amazing and covers all aspects, and you've got so much great knowledge there. So if I didn't already know this stuff, I'd be signing up right away for it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I know one more thing, it's a little bit different than other programs because it is live. It's not you're just signing up and getting recordings, you're getting some emails. It's actually like live weekly coaching. So you get me and you get live interaction. So
oh, that sounds great.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our articles.
We've got a good
let's
one.
Let's talk about magnetizing your jaw shut.
I know. This one's a good one. You've probably seen the article around. It's been around for a few weeks now, but we thought we just couldn't let it go past. We had to talk about this. This is basically a weight loss device that locks the mouth almost shut so that you basically can't shove food in there. And like when I first saw it, I was like, is this an April Fool's joke? Like, is this even real? But apparently it's real. It's basically like magnets that kind of you just put it kind of like on the side of your teeth. And if you go to the show notes, you'll see the link and you can look at the picture of this. And it just kind of like, it's fitted by a dental professional, and it locks the upper and lower back teeth using the magnet so that you can't open your mouth too wide. So it's 2 millimeters that it opens wide to. I don't know what that is in your metric, but it's not much. It's just a tiny amount. And so it restricts them to like a liquid diet, but it still allows you to speak, and it doesn't restrict breathing, luckily. And they did a trial in New Zealand with this, and they lost they on the average in 2 weeks, people lost 6.36 kilos. So I guess that's about almost 10 pounds, I think, or maybe more. Yeah. And they were motivated to continue their weight loss journey with this on. And yeah, for me, it just sounds outrageous, doesn't it? It just sounds like this is just calorie restriction in a medieval way.
Yeah, medieval is a good word. Also barbaric. Like I'm seriously questioning the people who go and sign up for this, saying, yeah, and in a way, like I feel sad because I can just imagine like that place of desperation to be willing to try something this invasive and dehumanizing. Like I'm having a really hard time like wrapping my head around that. And it makes me really sad for the people that are in that place that feel like this is a good option for them.
Yeah, I feel like I know how people feel. I've been so desperate at times to lose weight in the past in the journey, and willing to try anything. And we know, I've shared stories about that before, and I've done those kind of diet shakes before. But I think it's a whole new level, isn't it? Like magnetizing the mouth together. Like if you're that desperate, I'm sure there's some other way that we can get help, or they can get help, that type of thing, rather than having to calorie restrict this way. And we know, and we talk about a lot, is a lot to do with mindset. And so what's going to happen in, a few weeks time when the cravings come back and the mind hasn't changed and they want something? Are they going to start liquefying everything to fit it into the meal, like into the mouth? So, are we like, there was a comment there by Richard Norris, who's a lot of people would know, he's from Two Keto Dudes. And he said that people would just melt ice cream and just drink that instead, rather than thinking about the nutrition and the health benefits that they could be having by just eating some real food. So I think there's a whole big mindset component that needs to be addressed. And that's the same thing with having gastric bypass or gastric sleeves. Like if the mind isn't helped along the way, if you're not in that healthy mindset, those old habits come back, or maybe they never leave. And that's what causes relapse or people to go back to their old ways.
Right. Yeah, you're so right there with the mindset part. And it really just oversimplifies the issue of obesity. Like it's not just an eating problem. There are so many other factors that play into it. And if you don't address that mindset, you're right, you're just going to end up back where you are. And there's a component there when you're willing to take it this far, I think mentally, where I feel like it's a form of self-harm and a form of self-hate. Like there's some deeply rooted issues there that I think need to be addressed, and just getting your mouth closed shut is not going to solve those problems. And I think we both have notes here that this isn't new either, though, because in the 80s they used to wire people's jaws shut to like do the same thing. But studies came out later that those people who went through that developed psychiatric conditions.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The benefits do not outweigh the risks to me in this situation.
I guess in terms of people that are looking at whether they should do bariatric surgery or gastric sleeve, this is less invasive. I guess it's fitted by a dentist. It goes around the tooth and then it holds in. So they can take it out at any time. I guess the dentist takes it out. It's not like major operation, going under anesthetic, cutting open the stomach, that type of thing. So I can see in some ways when people are trying to make that decision, if they're really feeling that way, this could be a better option in terms of that. But still, like all those factors we've been saying, it's still, what's the mindset? What benefit are they going to get out of? What kind of long-term results are going to happen here? Are they going to choose nutrition over liquid ice cream? Are they going to choose healthy? That's a mindset and lifestyle change that needs to happen there, because we can liquefy anything, right?
Yeah. And maybe it can come with, maybe it's not just this procedure. Maybe it's also coupled with nutrition education. It's coupled with some therapy or some kind of therapist to talk through, or some kind of counseling. Like, I don't think this is just one piece of the puzzle and that's it. I think there's just so much more here. So much more is needed.
Yeah. And again, like the public, they were just basically like, this is inhumane. Most people were on that same kind of boat, weren't they? They were like, this is, if you read the comments in the article itself, if you read the comments on Facebook and things like that, there's just a lot of people saying this is not the way that we need to go about this. And then there's other ways to go about it.
I agree. Okay, let's move on. Do you have anything else you want to say on this one?
No, I think I said enough. I feel really,
All right.
I was feeling all
I think
happy.
we covered this one.
Now I feel a bit depressed after talking about that article.
I know. Well, I don't think this next one will make us feel any better.
No. Well, this next,
okay.
Do you want me to do this next one or do you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this next article is basically about a mum in the US. She's a blogger. Her name's Keto House. You might have heard of her. I think her name's Abby. And she has a TikTok account, and she's basically been slammed on social media, our favorite area to slam people, all these keyboard warriors, being criticized for giving her 11-year-old daughter a keto diet lunch is what the headline says. So she's got an 11-year-old and a 5-year-old, and she's apparently feeding them keto, which is this controversial weight loss diet that's not any good for kids, which, you know, like we can talk about the pros and cons of this. But basically, I looked at the lunchbox, what she was giving. It says here, she had a chicken and cheese wrap using lettuce instead of bread, blueberries, strawberries, watermelon, 2 slices of cheddar cheese, and a boiled egg. Like,
that sounds delicious.
It sounds like my perfect lunch. Like, I want her to come here and make me lunch.
If someone served my kids that, I would be ecstatic.
I know. If my kids ate that, I'd be ecstatic.
No,
they eat pretty well, but I'm always critical on them. But and then the whole thing was, people were in outrage because she said that the watermelon was a special surprise, because normally they wouldn't eat watermelon because it's a little bit too much on the sugary side, but she's putting it in there because that's something, you know, nice for the kids to have. And I guess it's summertime, and so it's watermelon. Then apparently everybody just jumped on her and was just like, you know, this is not the way to go. Keto diet's dangerous. They don't have epilepsy, so they shouldn't be having it. Does your doctor know about this? And she actually responded and said her doctor's on board with this. People were still kind of like unhappy about it. And I guess there's just so much to unpack here, Holly. It's just like so much. Like,
so much.
I don't even know where do you want to start? You choose somewhere to start.
Well, I will start with this. Can we just stop with the mom shaming already? Like, I really thought we were over that one. Like, that's so 2019, right? Like, we all just went through a pandemic. I thought we were supposed to be accepting and loving and unified because the world just went crazy, you know, like, really. And part of the whole last year was talking about metabolic health and diet, and how people are more at risk of becoming sick if they have problems with obesity or metabolic syndrome or diabetes. And so here we have this woman feeding her children a very nutritionally dense lunch, and she's getting shamed. What kind of like bass-ackward world are we living in?
I know.
It makes no sense. You could post a picture of your kids eating McDonald's with the Coke, but no one bats an eye. Right?
Yeah.
But now
and then
she irritated me.
She's posting something they should be. That's something that we wish to aspire our children to eat. And it's like she shouldn't be doing it. And then she said that she went on to feed her dogs a nutrient-dense diet as well, and people were apparently upset about that as well. It's like, people, seriously. One person asked this question, which I thought is worth asking. Are we projecting societal beauty standards onto an 11-year-old? And I don't know if it's like beauty standards. Like, I don't think that's the right way. That's what it says in the article, someone said. But what I did want to question was, are we projecting some dietary standards onto our children? What do you think about that? Like, I know myself, I might in the past have been very adamant that my children only eat paleo, but I guess over the years I've become a little bit more relaxed about it, and I don't call it paleo. I don't put that label on it. Even if I was feeding them something that was that lunch, I probably wouldn't call it keto. I would just say it's nutrient dense food. It's real food. Rather than placing a label onto it so that the children, when they do see the media and it says keto diet's not great for you, paleo diet's not great for you, they don't feel like they're on a diet. They're just eating healthy, nutrient-dense, real food.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely believe in not putting labels on foods for the kids. And I also understand that concern of not wanting our kids to be overly concerned with how they're eating, because we absolutely can go in the opposite direction of causing eating disorders. I'm drawing a blank right now of what it's called when you're like obsessed with healthy
Orthorexia.
eating. Thank
Orthorexia. Yeah.
you. Yeah. And so, yes, there are definitely extremes on both ends. But if it's just simply approached as this is what we eat as food, this is our everyday food, not our food for entertainment, which could be like junk food and candy now and then, that's for fun. It's not to sustain us for living a healthy life.
Yeah. And not, I don't want to criticize her or feel like I'm mum shaming neither, but one thing me personally, this is me personally, I probably wouldn't tell the children the watermelon is a surprise or a treat. That's just real food as well. And that's just something extra that's been put in the lunchbox. And I do the same. If there is something a little extra, like maybe I make the brownie cake, the mug cake from Cacao Bliss, and put that in, put some of that into the lunchbox or give it to them. It's not a treat. It's just food. It's,
Yeah.
it's not good or bad. It's food, and that's what you're eating.
Yeah. And what? I mean, you bring a good point. And so maybe that is what the caption was on her Instagram page. But we also have to remember that social media is not always an accurate portrayal of real life. We don't know if that caption even has anything to do with what she's telling her kids or how they actually live in their household. It's a caption. It's for growing an audience. It's for, I don't know, entertainment. It's social media. I don't think social media is 100% real. So yes, maybe someone who is strictly hardcore keto, a watermelon would be a treat, but that doesn't mean she's necessarily communicating that to her children.
That's right. And I looked at her page and I thought, wow, she's so inspiring. She's got her 11-year-old, I think they might be in lockdown, is there cooking and making really healthy food in front of the camera, and she's really entertaining. And I thought that's like a really good, positive thing to be doing. It's not like a bad thing, and I think the main thing was everybody just kind of jumped on that word diet, and she might not have even used the word diet, like you said, Holly. So yeah, it's just very, very interesting times we're living in.